Hi everyone, tease up. I'm Gary, not Gary Indiana, and here's a quick look really at some individual awards before the season started. I was really tempted to put a video about the ongoing Ben Simmons situation in Philadelphia, but the video I had planned revolved around some individual player awards on the eve of the new season about to tip off, which is exciting stuff for any NBA fan. So first one I think we've got to look at is the MVP. And what I've done for this and for all of these is I've gone onto a UK bookmaking website, so for a gambling website in the UK. I am not advocating people to gamble. I'm not giving anyone financial advice here or anything like that. It's just to give you an idea before the season starts about what the odds were. So where these players stood prior to the season starting. Now, the odds in the UK had Luka Doncic as the favourite overwhelmingly for the MVP award. Two players stood out to me, and I'll give you my logic for them. And again, I'm not asking you to gamble when I give you the odds. I'm just giving you my logic on why I think these are my two. The first one is Giannis, and he's standing at 6-1. And the reason why I think Giannis is possibly going to be the MVP, probably my favourite for it, is it would appear, based on pre-season, and we've heard that before with different players, is that Giannis has found an outside shot. And if that is the case, defending NBA champion, a walking triple-double threat, still coming into his prime. But if he can shoot now, what can you do with Giannis, who's already won the MVP award before, without the really great outside game? If he's got a passable outside game now, it's just another tool in his locker. So I've got Giannis. The other player who I'm thinking and looking at and going, yeah, for me, he would be in there is Steph Curry. He's listed at 15-2 here in the UK. I think Golden State will, once Klay Thompson comes back, if he can stay fit and the rest of the team can stay healthy, Steph Curry is going to be the best player on that team. They are going to be a team with eyes on them, national media attention. Steph Curry is Steph Curry, best shooter for me in the history of basketball. So, with that said, Curry, scoring machine, eyes on him, Golden State back into relevance. He would be one of my other pick, really, if I was to say 1B, would be Steph Curry. If I was somebody who was wanting a real outside shot, and I alluded to this in a previous video of a dark horse for MVP, I'm looking at Paul George on the Clippers. In the UK, he's listed right now at 33-1. And the reason I'm saying Paul George is if the Clippers, without Kawhi, are a top four seed in the West, Paul George has carried on what he was doing in the playoffs. He is really the only number one option until Kawhi Leonard's fit, and then he's going to have help by committee with the Clippers. So if the Clippers are, finish in the top half this season, that would say to me that's because of Paul George. So we know what Paul George can do. That would be my dark horse, but I'm going with Giannis. Rookie of the year, I think it's really hard to look past Jalen Green. The reason I say that is I think he will be the rookie who leads scoring. I think you will get a more balanced stat sheet from Cade Cunningham in Detroit. But I think Jalen Green, with the scoring I think he might put up, I'm expecting people will like to watch the Rockets because of the backcourt with himself and Kevin Porter Jr. I think that Jalen Green will be Rookie of the Year. It's hard to see who would be an outside pick. I think there's a clear top two in everybody's mind. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I am interested in how Jalen Suggs does. I think it could be a more balanced stat sheet for Suggs. What could hurt him would be that he's competing for minutes at the guard position with, at some point, Markelle Fultz, who I think will have the ball handed to him as point guard. Cole Anthony, who's been pretty decent for the Magic again in pre-season, crowd favourite. RJ Hampton, etc. What's that going to do with Suggs' minutes if he hits any type of rookie wall? So I'm going with Jalen Green. Most improved player. A lot of people are looking at Michael Porter Jr. He's listed as the favourite here in the UK at 9-1. I can certainly see why. He's going to have to be the second option on the Nuggets with Murray out. I think a couple of interesting players to keep an eye on. OG Anunoby, 17-1. Toronto Raptors, obviously. I think it could. I'm going to go with it. Could be OG. I'm going to put OG as my favourite. And another player who I could see doing this on longer odds is RJ Barrett. I think if the Knicks finish as a clear playoff team, so a top 6 seed in the East this year, I think Barrett's going to have took a step because the East's got a lot stronger. Randall was superb last season. I think RJ Barrett's constantly improving his game, so RJ Barrett's a player to watch if you want a real outside pick. Again, maybe it's my Homer glasses and having watched more Magic games than anyone. It's really interesting that Mo Bamba's listed at 90-1. He's been really impressive for the Magic in the preseason. Do I think Bamba will win it? No, but at 90-1, it's an interesting one, shall we say. I really want Mo Bamba to win it. Defensive Player of the Year, for me, well, every year recently it seems to have been Rudy Gobert. He's on this streak of winning the DPOY award. I think it's going to be Anthony Davis at the Lakers. I think for the Lakers to win a title, Davis is going to have to play big. The big question mark with Davis will be his health, which has always been the thing that's really held him back. But I think if the Lakers are to win, a lot of it's going to come from AD. He's at 5-1. My other two guys who stand out here, Bam Adebayo, I think the Heat will be better this year because of the signing really of Kyle Lowry. I think Bam Adebayo at 12-1 would be my second favourite. And my outside shot again, Draymond Green. Does it all. I expect the Warriors to be better with just Klay Thompson with the draft picks. Again, Steph Curry's there. I expect the Warriors to be getting media attention. So Draymond at 30-1, not a bad shout. But for me, AD at 5-1 is where I'm looking. And last but not least is the Sixth Man Award. Right now, if I was betting on this, I would put my money on, and I'm not betting on this, by the way. I'm just going to clarify that this is not a gambling channel. Tyler Hero at 10-1. I think that, as I've said, there's going to be a lot of focus on the Heat. I expect them to be probably the third seed in the East. Top 4, I think, is a pretty safe, assumption as long as health stays with an old team. But I think Tyler Hero coming off the bench, there's a lot of people think he had a disappointing year last year by his standards. He did, I think, at 10-1. Hero is not a bad shout. I can see him being a real offensive fireplug. My other player I've got an eye on is Dennis Schroeder, who's with Boston now. And he's playing with a point to prove. And Schroeder is at 17-1. And I don't think that's the worst pick either in the world. He will get his minutes off the bench. He knows how to come off the bench. And again, crucially with this award, there will be media eyes on what is happening in Boston. But Schroeder definitely has a role to play. And with the Celtics this season, I've said it in a previous video, I do think Jason Tatum's going to take that leap. But he's going to need him, Jaylen Brown, Mark Smart are going to need a lot more help around them as well. And Schroeder is one of those people who, if the Celtics are to be an automatic playoff team, is one of the players who's going to have to provide it. Will he? We'll see. So enjoy the games tonight, everybody. I'm weighing up putting out a video on the Ben Simmons fiasco in Philadelphia. I haven't decided on that yet, but it is turning out to be the soap opera that I think was envisioned. So if you're a Philly fan right now, good luck to you, because I think it's very, very frustrating given this is really your championship window right now. So have a great night, enjoy the first games, let's see how the season gets off.